Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a track that is a stable in motorsports history. Here we are at the legendary Nürburgring Grand-Prix layout. This is the place where legends are made, and we're gonna have some of the best battling it out today. The Porsche 992 is one of the most balanced, thrilling, and downright fun cars to drive in the world, and these drivers, well, you best believe they will put on a show here tonight, or this morning, or this afternoon, from wherever you are joining us from. My name is Sean Stam. This is Stam Studio Network. I am joined by Toka up here in the booth today. Toka, how are you doing on this wonderful morning or evening?
Doing absolutely amazing, Sean. Always a pleasure to be here. Always a pleasure to be on this channel, especially watching this Champion Motorsports iRTES Porsche 992 Cup here. This is Championship Sunday. This is the final race, round number 6 of our championship, and it will decide the winner of the championship and take home the much coveted driver's trophy on your screen there.
And we pretty much only have just a few front runners up in the points, as we'll bring up on the screen now. Enrico, Chad Henson is a no-show today, and then Michael Parker, he will start P2 on our race. Enrico taking the pole. So it's going to be tight here up on the points, isn't it, Toka?
Yeah, okay, so the scenario is very complicated because it's currently a 5-way battle, but without Chad Henson, it's a 4-way battle. So from Enrico all the way down to Jared Skinner, the most unlikely driver to win it in terms of the point deficit, but all 4 of these drivers are mathematically in contention for the championship. James Andrew and below are out of it, and it's not possible for them to make up the points. However, for Enrico to win the championship is very easy, considering he has a 5-point lead to the nearest rival today, Michael Parker. He just needs to finish first ahead of him. If Michael Parker wants to win, he needs to at least make a 4-position deficit to Enrico, and for the rest of the driver, for Jared Skinner, it's 6 positions, and for Mark Johnson, it's 4 positions. So it's very difficult to overtake Enrico, but you never know what can happen, especially Michael Parker, who's second in the championship in this race so far, has taken the most wins of the season.
Going to be fun to watch, as this is just a short pace lap around the Grand Prix layout of the Nürburgring. Thankfully not running the extended full course layout today, but all right. Green flag is just a few moments away. Enrico, this is what the whole season has come down to, man. Field will be in your hands, rounding the turn here. Wait for it, wait for it. Still waiting, and oh man, we're still waiting. Oh my, the timing of that. And now we're off. Green flag is out, and Championship Sunday is underway here from the Nürburgring.
Right here, Michael Parker going to pull into the lead. Enrico kind of just baited the pack a little bit too much, tried to play the time to his advantage, but it didn't work out. Michael Parker quicker on the pedal and quicker on the start will take the lead of this race. Here's a good start for him. If he wants to win the championship, he will have to hope that Enrico loses more positions. So Enrico, it really doesn't matter for him. He can just finish 2 positions behind Parker and still win his championship. But now he's under pressure from Jared Skinner, who's in 3rd, Mark Johnson in 4th, David Anderson in 5th, and James Andrew in 6th. Remember, James Andrew and David Anderson are not in contention for the championship unless the other drivers do not score any points and they win the race. But even then, it's still a mathematically nearly impossible challenge for them. But as currently, as we round turn number 4, 5 here into the S section, the Michael Schumacher S's, Michael Parker leading the race here. He needs Enrico to at least be 3rd for him to have a hope of the championship. Enrico is going to be happy in 2nd here, and for the rest of the drivers, they're going to be hunting out for blood here. They need to not only win the race, but also eliminate Enrico from contention. So they'll be on his trail the entire race here, putting as much pressure as possible on the championship leader.
Jared Skinner, Toker, you talk of putting pressure on Enrico. He was within a few centimeters of that back bumper on the Porsche, and man, just able to slightly, narrowly avoid contact as we are just now finishing up lap 1 here from the Grand Prix layout. We're coming to the end of it. Oh boy, that was close between Jarrett and Enrico, but we are still moving and grooving here.
Yeah, exactly. The main thing you gotta watch out for is that Enrico, he does not need to win the race, right? He has a 5-point lead to the next rival, which is Michael Parker, who's currently leading the race. So Enrico, I mean, he's happy to finish even in 3rd, which if he does, then we have a points tie. But even if he finishes 2nd, he wins the championship. So we're not going to talk about what happens if there's a point tie. But in terms of the race so far, I mean, Enrico, he doesn't even need to fight too hard, right? He can just focus on defending, just stick behind Michael Parker, who is looking to be the paciest driver out on track here. 2-minute 0.942, 2 seconds a lap faster in the first lap than the drivers behind him.
This might happen quick for Michael Parker, has already extended the gap to 1.18 seconds. And this battle between Enrico, I think we talked about this last CMS race. You got a car right on the back bumper. It's got to be hard not to kind of overdrive your corners with everything that's on the line, that cast resin trophy. Appreciate David Anderson coming in clutch with, as well as the sponsors. Of course, Penguin RC Masterworks, Sim Race 247. Could not be here without you guys, and well, it's gonna be quite a battle to see if Jarrett Skinner can get back to the back bumper of Enrico. His battle for David Anderson and James Andrew is just under a second.
Hey, gotta think that with a championship like this, Enrico is very comfortable, but the other drivers, I mean, they have so many targets to hit, right, if they want to win the championship, especially for a driver like Michael Parker, who has been undoubtedly, I think, the fastest driver in the championship, taking 2 races out of the last 5 rounds, looking poised to take another one to round off the championship. But I mean, if you're Michael Parker here, you don't need only the only thing you can do is keep driving, right, and hope everything else falls into your fortune. And I mean, that's in such a rough position, because it doesn't matter how well you do in this race. Not everything is in your hands. I mean, Enrico is in such a good position. He has all the cards to play. And I mean, he can just sit here and just enjoy the entire race. And for the drivers behind as well, they have to kind of work together to try and overtake Enrico and have a championship hope for themselves.
Real quick, I would like it to take another look at the points.
All right, we're going to go ahead and take one more look at the points here. Enrico leading the championship at 139 points. Next closest driver on track, Michael Parker at 134. Mark Johnson at 129. That's a 10-point gap. Jared Skinner is 17 points behind. James Andrew is mathematically eliminated. So in terms of Jared Skinner, he actually cannot win the race. He actually cannot win the championship. So it's currently a 3-way battle. Enrico, Michael Parker, and then Mark Johnson. So how this is gonna work is if Michael Parker finishes in 3rd and Enrico is 4th or below, Michael Parker takes the championship. And for Mark Johnson, he needs to win, and Enrico needs to be 6th. So he needs to finish last. And for Enrico, as long as he is third or above, he wins the championship, which not counting the scenario where he finishes in third, and then we'll have to actually figure out what happens in a case of a point tie. But yeah, I mean, it's rough for anyone who's not named Enrico Gregorato right now to lay their hands on the championship firmly.
I'm very happy with the pace that I've seen out of Jarrett Skinner today. He's able to retain. Sean and
That's a
Tater's
commentator curse. Yeah, if I've ever seen one,
No
Jarrett Skinner there. Oh no,
my
Jarrett's gonna
goodness.
coming out of the second section of the Michael Schumacher S's. They're gonna go ahead and spin, basically taking himself out of the championship there of 8-second gap to the next driver, Mark Johnson. Let's look back at it. I mean, yeah, unfortunate, I guess. I mean, it's a very long-winded corner. It's basically a pseudo straight, but in terms of these Porsche Cup cars, you kind of have to lift a little bit, or at least step on the brakes if you carry too much speed in. I mean, he kind of did there, tried to go a little bit early on the throttle, and yeah, that's just what happens. I mean, you can probably pinpoint that down to stress, right, to pressure, because you understand the position that Jarrett Skinner's in. He's not fighting for the championship. He's just trying to get the best that he can out of this race, and there's just so many things you got to think about, right, when the championship point standing is separated like this. There's so much more than just pure racing, and when those things take over, you can't focus on your driving. I mean, those mistakes are bound to happen.
Hey, that's really well said there, Toka. It's hard to drive at your limit when those things start getting to the back of your head, and especially these Porsche Cup cars with no TC, no ABS. I mean, it can start to be a handful physically and mentally, even in the sim.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's very rough as well. I mean, these Porsche cars are they're very responsive, but coming with that responsiveness is, of course, the ability to just push over the limit really easily, right? Especially, as you mentioned, without TC, without ABS, of course, very difficult, especially in the sim. I think in the real car, it's a little bit easier to feel the limit, right? But in the sim, if you don't have any of those assists, then it's very easy to kind of overthink what the limit is and then go over it, and then you can't really recover, because the only input you have is through your steering wheel, right? In the real race car, you can kind of feel the entire car move. You can feel it through your bum and everything, but in the sim, you just have the visuals and your wheel.
Very well said. I know some drivers actually have those motion rigs, which you can kind of start to feel some, well, like it implies motion, but not really the G-forces of, say, whipping a car around 160 miles an hour, especially Nürburgring here. But it's so kind of cool to see the innovations within sim racing, and especially just even the last couple of years as far as well, everything goes. Tactic feedbacks, butt kickers, you name it. It's pretty neat.
Yeah, absolutely. I think sim racing has definitely gone a very long way. It's definitely very accessible now, and I think this has been the case since the very start of sim racing. If you have talent, it will show. It doesn't matter, how good your equipment is. You can have the worst equipment, and often the best drivers have the worst equipment. I think it kind of comes down to challenging yourself. But I mean, if you have a sim, it's very different to real life racing, where in some series, right, even in spec series, there are differences in the suspension, in car setup, in your terms of your budget and everything. In sim racing, it's just pure talent. The fastest driver wins, and that's exactly what happens every single time. So I think it's definitely one of the most entertaining and exciting form of racing you can watch, because it's just talent on talent, and there's no sort of minor or major difference in factors that can sort of jeopardize the fairness of the competition.
You bring up what was it about just skill in general, and I mean, we have only had one off-track excursion so far this race, and once again, with how tough and tricky these cars are to drive, it's really, I mean, great job, drivers. This is quite impressive.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, in iRacing as well, right? Especially in iRacing, how iRacing simulates, especially the braking, it's very easy to go over the limit. Most oftenly, I think actually when you have experience IRL, it actually kind of goes against you in iRacing, because in real life you can go over the limit in braking or anything like that you can fix. But in iRacing, I mean, you kind of have to under brake a little bit. Otherwise, I mean, it's very easy for the rear to step out. It's just how the simulation goes. It's just kind of minute details, right? You have to manage in the sim as well. But of course, when these drivers, when you see them drive around like this with these limitations in the sim, how, you know, the track surfaces are, of how the cars react, how the sim is coded, net code and everything, and then they're able to just lap and lap after lap consistently and not making mistakes, really comes to show the expertise and the skill of these drivers.
Looking at a quick lap time comparison between P2 and P3, looks like Mark Johnson was just a little bit faster there on lap 5. And then if we look at Mark Johnson, compare him to Jarrett Skinner, oh, it's by tenths, hundredths of a second there the last couple laps. But Jarrett is also closing just a little bit. I wonder if we have any driver cams here today as well. Let's compare Jarrett Skinner to James Andrew. Oh, James was 3.5. Does that say 3? Is that a 0?
Yeah, that is 3.
Wow, okay, so Mark probably a little excursion there, and then comparing James Andrew to David Anderson. James Andrew continuing to run away with that battle. So now, let's see. Please. Oh, boo-hoo. Okay, that's all right.
Unfortunate, no driver's cam, man. I know we love those here up on the Stam Studio Network, but otherwise, I mean, this race so far has kind of settled into this situation when you have a field, you don't have the packed field, right? You don't have traffic to navigate through, you don't have chaotic starts, right? All these drivers are the only drivers here are the one in contention for the championship, right? That's why they're here racing in this final round here. Kind of comes down to just pure pace, and as much as Michael Parker is running away with it, it has the, I think, monstrous pace in this race. It really doesn't matter because Enrico, he's happy to sit here, and as long as Mark Johnson cannot put pressure on him, he needs to cut down, remember, 6-second gap in the next few until the end of the race to at least put Enrico in third. Then Michael Parker has a chance to win the championship. But beyond that, Enrico, he's happy to sit here, manage the race. If even Mark Johnson gets close, and he can start defending and win the championship that way. So I mean, Enrico is looking comfortable right now. One hand on the trophy already, I think you can say.
Well said. I think Enrico is definitely, you know, he's got no cars next to him now on track, so maybe just taking things just a little bit smoother than what he could possibly start seeing the lap times fall off just a little bit. But once again, just, you know, there's no reason to push as hard anymore with respectively only 6 cars on track. But this is just, it goes to show how great these drivers were throughout the season, and to bring them where they are within the championship standing points on this very well-raced championship Sunday here at the Nürburgring Grand-Prix layout. Almost wonder if David should have accidentally selected the the 20-mile layout. No, I'm just kidding. Is that 8 miles?
The Nordschleifer. Yeah.
Oh, that would be
I mean,
green hell.
God. No, that would be absolutely awful, especially with these cars. Not built for endurance racing. But yeah, the tire would be dead by lap 2. But I mean, beyond that, I mean, we say that the race can definitely be seen as boring, but when you take into consideration that driver like Enrico, especially Michael Parker, who has 130 points plus, right? Enrico, of course, at 139 points in a 5-race championship, and a win gets you 35. That means he needs to at least finish 4th every single race, and that is a level of consistency. Remember, 40-car pack, right? 40-car field. And if you consistently qualifying and ending races, at least P4 throughout all 5 races, I mean, that's consistency, right? And I mean, I think consistency is definitely the biggest factor in racing, in motorsports.
Definitely so. You're awarded for consistency, lap in, lap out, point in and point out. And once again, that's just what it's going to boil down to as we just now approach halfway to go in this championship race. Once again, like to shout out the sponsors, Masterworks, Sim Race 247, as well as Penguin RC. We could not be doing this without you guys.
Absolutely.
Okay, maybe we take a... Oh, sorry, you got it.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say maybe we just take a quick whole lap here with Michael Parker and kind of see. I mean, he's definitely not running this thing to the limit anymore, but if we hopped into the car with him, I mean, this is once again, it's not an easy thing to do to get this car, the Porsche 992, around the track, especially no off tracks, no incidents.
Yeah, absolutely, and especially this track, of course, the famous Nürburgring, of course, in the state around 1000, the famous I-4 region of Germany. This track is such a driver's track, right? You have a few driver's track in the world. I think Suzuka could definitely be considered one of them, where it's just pure driver's skill, because there's not an easy go here, stay on the curb, hard brake, turn in, apex, accelerate. Most of these corners are very long-winded and very awkward. You kind of have to feel the limit of the traction when you're turning the car. Most of these corners are like basically extended hairpins. So the entire weight rotating the corner, just depending on the car, especially in these Porsches where they're very light, very easy to oversteer, right? When you get on throttle too quickly, like this turn, and then you have to back off the power a little bit. You have to step on the power again, get a little bit more traction, control your input steering because the angle changes so quickly. And this is one of those tracks that just comes to show the driver's skill, because it's all about feeling the car, feeling how the wheels move, feeling the traction, controlling your throttle. Of course, you have to watch the corners as well, and elevation changes, everything. It just makes it one of the best tracks in the world. And it just goes to show you how good this track is for showing drivers like Michael Parker and how fast it can be, how much natural skill and experience they have.
That's something that, I mean, I love this track, but it goes against my driving style because of just the corner entry is so important to get the car set up and connected to the track. And like you said, they're kind of tough technical turns here at the Grand Prix layout. It definitely will keep you on your toes, and I really can't do it justice here for this race to be this clean. It's, wow, that's pretty special.
I mean, yeah, definitely one of the hardest tracks in the world. Of course, and you can, some elitists can definitely come up and say, actually, the Nordschleife is harder, obviously, but but it's in the GP layout. It's definitely one of the most difficult tracks of its kind. I mean, it's just it kind of comes down to instinct, right? Do you have that little bit more control of the car? Do you have a little bit more feeling than your rivals, where you can just kind of feel the car a little bit more and push just a few hundredths of a second per corner faster? It comes down to that, and it's very difficult. You can do like 1,000 laps and only find an extra tenth on the track like this, because it just all comes down to feeling. As we said there, Michael Parker already putting in the newest, fastest lap of the race here, 158.1.
He's not messing around. We said you can tone it down there a little bit. 6-second gap. My goodness, you must not be listening live in my broadcast. But don't blame him.
I mean, what can you do, right? If you need, the only thing he can focus on is drive as hard as he can. That's exactly what he's doing, and I just hope everything else works out, right? You never know. I mean, if you. Maybe Michael Parker can build such a huge gap that Enrico, he starts lifting off a little bit. I can't catch him. I'll be comfortable here. He starts, backing off a little bit, losing focus, makes a mistake. Mark Johnson, Jared Skinner, I mean, they're 1 second within each other, dragging each other along. They can catch him right away. So you never know what can happen. It's not over until the checker flag is waved.
That's true. Speaking of not over until this thing is over, 11 minutes to go. This battle between Mark Johnson and Jared Skinner continuing to heat up. Those cars both pushing a little bit wide into the gravel here, coming back into another left-hander. I like what I'm seeing here out of, well, never. No, I'm not going to say that again, because that's, I think, the same.
Oh, God. It's the same corner as well. Oh, no.
You can't script it better than that. Anyways. Mark Johnson, he's up a spot since the start of this race, and I mean, nice paint scheme looking. I don't know if David is going to do another Porsche Cup next season, but hopefully so, because I know once again, only 6 drivers listed here today, but throughout the season, it has been such great battling and so much fun to watch these drivers go nose to tail, front bumper to rear diffuser, and it's been a lot of fun. And Toka, thank you for joining me up here in the booth here today.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think in terms of pure racing, that's definitely one of the cleaner championships that I've had the pleasure to not only commentate but also enjoy watching as well. Watching along these drivers racing, especially the earlier rounds. I mean, 40 car field, but compared to other championships I've commentated that I've been watching, it's very clean. I think one of those comes down to just the skill of the drivers. I mean, 40 car in the field, and they have like only a limited number of incidents throughout the entire championship. But beyond that, I think one of the things I want to bring up is the orange zone runs lap. For the first sector, there's a thing called orange zone. So any incidents within that orange zone gets penalized harder, and then drivers are kind of encouraged to avoid incidents. So basically, when you start the race, when it's the most chaotic, the orange zone comes into effect for the first few corners. It kind of deters the situation happening right at chaos. Usually occurs right at the start, and the flag will wave or green or the light will out. But after that, you kind of settle with it, and as long as the drivers are clean, it's good. I think it's very good. Very.
Yeah, definitely so. As this battle continues to rage on here. 1 second. But anyways, yes, Mark Johnson, Jarrett Skinner here, and you mentioned the skill, Toka. That's something great to bring up because we don't have an iRacing driver here with an I rating under, little blinkage there, under 1,800. So that just goes to show the skill here from these drivers. It's pretty fun to watch, especially as Michael Parker is now still about 6 seconds in front of Enrico. Enrico just trying to solidify this championship, make it his own here from the Nürburgring Grand-Prix layout.
Yeah, this battle is definitely heating up here. I mean, Jarrett Skinner is on Mark Johnson here. Literally a few tenths away, kind of went for a move there, tried to go down the inside, almost but he didn't have the runway. I mean, Mark Johnson almost just cut him off, but thankfully, just enough gap between the two. I mean, this is the only fight we're gonna have so far in this race, and it's definitely a exciting one. Jarrett Skinner I think, give him another lap, and he's gonna make a move here.
He has been the closest he has been all race, and see some off-track marks there. Some gravel on the left side of the track. Drivers avoiding that, as that would have been ice. Jarrett Skinner continuing to close the gap to Mark Johnson's rear bumper, as just 7 minutes to go now.
Yeah, so essentially we're looking at another 3 laps or so before the white flag or even the checkered flag, depends on how it works out, but that's it. And Jarrett Skinner has about 3.5 laps to catch and overtake Mark Johnson here. This fight actually doesn't mean anything in the championship, but why not? These fights where it doesn't actually mean anything in terms of points are the most fun, because these drivers can go out and fight without any risk of losing positions right there. It doesn't matter championship, you can go out and fight as hard as you want to. That's exactly what these two are doing. Mark Johnson trying his best to keep the pace, to keep Jarrett Skinner behind. It's getting just so close. It's like a shark here in the water waiting for his prey to make the first mistake, and then he'll go for it.
You can't say it any better than that. Now we're rounding the final turn, coming to the start-finish straight for what could be just about... Oh, that's 24 minutes out of 30. Yeah, okay. So what should be, like you said, Toka, 2-3 laps to go. There's Jarrett Skinner. Is he going to make a move into the hard braking zone here, turn 1? No, thinks better of it.
Yeah, I mean, he kind of looks like he had a run, but ultimately didn't brake hard enough, so just backed out of it wisely. Doesn't want to push it too much and risk making a silly move and crashing into the back of Mark Johnson, or even go for a pit maneuver, essentially, but still plenty of opportunities for him to overtake out of these into these braking zones throughout the entire track. There's so many of these sort of hairpin corners that you can throw a car down the inside as long as you brake better. You get to the apex first.
Oh no!
It's gonna stick. Oh no, Jarrett Skinner. As soon as we said that, out of the S's there, couldn't get on the power smoothly enough, oversteered, the back spun out, and I think that's it for this fight here. Unfortunately, anticlimactic end, but it was fun
no
while it
kidding.
lasted.
We were starting to hype him up there, as we'll try and take a look at the replay. Maybe slow it down and see just how this... Like you said earlier in the broadcast, Toka, I know I've been saying that a lot, but you referenced just about everything we've seen. Oh, I think he misses the corner there, and back end gonna loop around on him.
Yeah, carries too much speed in, I think. Didn't hit the apex, and then obviously tried to overcorrect because you have to be on the left here into the chicane to go onto the second part of the chicane. But yeah, he was on the right, on the incorrect side of the track. Tried to overcorrect without hard braking, and yeah, I mean ultimately when you input as much steering as you can without slowing down, I mean that's what happens, right? You oversteer, and that's it.
So I believe the iRTES race will follow this. I believe, I don't know. I'm a little out of the league for that series, but I think their race follows this in just a few hours' time over on, I think that's apexracing.tv. So if that is still going on, be sure to check that out over on their channel and make some more points here in the final race from the Nürburgring Grand-Prix layout. And once again, thanking David Anderson, everybody over at CMS for having us on board this whole season. It really has been a blast, and David Anderson is actually, this is our closest battle on track as he's reeled in James Andrew for P5.
Oh yeah, I mean 1 second between the two of them here, and I mean we've had the fight between Jared Skinner and Mark Johnson. Let's hope this one can turn out a little bit better. Hopefully keep it clean. But I mean David Anderson is not as close to the driver in front of him as Jared Skinner was, but I mean there's still time to be made up here. Let's see what happens.
We'll hop on board with David Anderson now. This is the onboard cam of the 278, and let's see here. This is a very important exit to get right. It's a little run into the stadium section of the track. That gap staying about 1.2 seconds, and right now would be a great time to see the lap comparisons between the two. Looking at, this is once again Andrew and Anderson. Ooh, it's been a little back and forth action there. 9, 10, 11,
yeah,
12.
It's definitely a little bit back and forth. I think it just kind of comes down to Anderson trying to keep up the consistency, right? If you don't have the consistency, you can't catch up to driver ahead. But I mean, when he has been able to put it down, he's definitely faster than James Andrew. As Michael Parker puts in another fastest lap of the race there.
58.2?
I mean, this guy is pushing. He's not slowing down at all.
That is crazy for now a 10-second gap over Enrico. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, once again, coming back to this battle here between the 5th and 6th position as James Andrew pulling more distance on David Anderson. But I mean, the thing is, Anderson, I think in terms of max pace, is faster than Andrew, but he just can't keep it consistent enough to make a difference, right? One lap, it can be 1.5, 2 seconds, even 3 seconds faster, but then most laps will be like 4 tenths, 3 tenths behind. So I can't just balance this out, right? So you mostly, importantly, as we mentioned before, you gotta have the consistency.
I think I saw a little puff of smoke there into turn 1. That should have been out of the James Andrew machine. Maybe a slight lockup, but not enough to make really too much of a difference in the gap, as it's now 1.6 seconds for PE5. James Andrew, our one driver not in the U.S. Their flag is showing a mix of EU and Ireland. So.
Oh no.
Oh, yeah. He's, uh-oh.
I think that there was a little thing called Brexit. I don't think the UK will accept that. You calling them EU.
Oh yeah, that's okay. Yes, UK. There you go. I can't believe. Oh my. Hey, it's 9 o'clock. Or, well, it was 9 o'clock in the morning. Now a little bit later. I'm still waking up, but that is a bad one. Oh boy. UK and Ireland. There you go. Do not clip it, whatever you do. No, I'm just kidding.
That's fine. That's fine. It's a little bit entertainment here, a little extra entertainment in this race, even if it is our fumbling. But yeah, in terms of the race, I mean, we're coming to what is essentially the last lap of the race here. The white flag will be shown very soon. I mean, Michael Parker is still very fast. I mean, the 58.3 This consistency is absolutely insane here from Michael Parker. But this will essentially be what could be the last lap of the race, or at least the penultimate lap. I mean, in terms of the gaps in this race, as long as Enrico doesn't make a catastrophic mistake, I mean, he's basically cemented his championship victory here in the final round of this championship.
Once again, that'll be a cast resin trophy going to the number 285 if you just able to solidify this. I don't want to speak too soon, obviously, as seen that's already happened twice here tonight. We mentioned something, then the opposite happens, but hopefully able to keep this going for Jarrett. Mark Johnson having a great run as well, sitting P3 in the 15 Porsche Cup car. But congratulations, I mean, Enrico, this is a whole seasons of hard work that we've seen, and to be in the position that he's in now with no cars near him on track, that's kind of the points going to show. Was neck and neck coming to races 3, 4, 5, and 6. But man, looks like Enrico should have this thing in the bag. Excellent run from him tonight and this whole season.
Absolutely. I mean, consistent. You don't have to always be the fastest, but if you're always one of the fastest, and you have the consistency the entire way through, you don't make any mistakes. That's what it takes to win championships. Right? It might be fast, you might have to pace, but that's only going to hit 1 or 2 win races, like Michael Parker has. As the checker flag comes out here, the final lap of the race, Michael Parker going to cross the line to win this race. He will end in 2nd place in the championship. Fantastic race for him tonight. That's 3 race wins out of 5 that he's participated in this championship. Fantastic driver. But for Enrico Gregorato, who comes home in 2nd to take his place on the podium, it will be Championship Sunday championship victory for Enrico Gregorato, the winner of our iRTES Porsche Cup winner here at Champion Motorsports. He will take home the trophy, and deservedly so. Hard work throughout the entire season, and most definitely one of the best drivers in the field as he cements his victory.
That's got to be so much pressure let off of you now. Oh, this has to feel amazing. Burning it down, turning off. Well, you don't have the traction control to turn off. Congratulations, Enrico Gregorato, our championship winner here at Champion Motorsports. And a little tongue twister will get you. These guys all burning it down for us. What a season for all of these drivers. Congratulations, everybody. Also, drivers that finish top 3 here, be sure to stick around for some interviews after the race. We'll be sure to get you that here in just a few moments' time as we go over the finishing order, and then we'll take an ad break and come back to those interviews. Michael Parker winning the race, Enrico coming home P2, winning the championship. Mark Johnson coming home P3. Jarrett Skinner, James Andrew, and David Anderson will make it home P6. Hey, come join us over in the burnouts. All right, we'll be right back here on Stam Studio Network.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back here to the Nürburgring Grand-Prix layout, home of Championship Race Sunday and at Champion Motorsports, brought to you by iRTES. I am with the third place driver here today, Mark Johnson. You got a copy?
I do.
Mark, oh boy, what a race, what a season. Saw you up there in the point standings as well. Kind of walk us through your day here today at Nürburgring.
Kind of started off knowing I had the fast guys in front of me, but hadn't gotten as much practice as I wanted, so just kind of tried to stick with them, improve my pace, and then Jarrett had a little half spin that let me get into third, and he tried to catch me, and then I saw he had a little incident behind me again that kind of broke up our battle, but it was a fun battle for third there. I was pushing about a second faster than my qualifying time, so I had picked up some pace throughout the race for sure.
That was so much fun watching that battle until, yeah, unfortunate little self-induced thing for Jarrett there. But Mark, before we go and move on to Enrico, our championship winner, is there anybody that makes this possible for you to come out and race Mondays with us?
I know my team, Longhorn Motorsports, and I know Masterworks with Mike Tyler is a big sponsor here as well. So thanks to those guys.
Well, thank you, Mark Johnson, and hope to have you back if there is another Porsche Cup season. We all hope so, and congratulations once again on the top 3 here today.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, then with that, thank you, Mark Johnson. We're going to move on to our championship winner here. We will take home the trophy. Enrico Gregorato. Hello, do you have a copy?
I do. Hi, Toka.
Yeah, absolutely amazing to have you here, Enrico. Walk us through your day here. Of course, you came to this race. You had pole position in the final race, in the final round of the championship. You must have known that you were in a good position, especially 5-point gap to your next closest rival, of course, being Michael Parker. And I mean, start off the race, right? You didn't really have the best of starts. You're overtaken by Michael Parker, but then you kind of just settled in and just relied on the advantage. So just walk us through how you managed your race and what how much that point gap played into how you approach this race.
Yeah, well, I knew Michael was 5 points behind, so I kind of did the math and I knew exactly where I needed to finish based on his finishing position. So for me, it was very important to start up at the front, P1 or P2. Got lucky with my qualifying and was on pole. And then really, I messed up the start. I misshifted and Michael got ahead. The objective then was just to stay in second. And fortunately, or rather unfortunately for Jarrett, he had a small issue which kind of gave me a little bit of breathing room. And then from there, it was really just managing, trying to get the car to the end of the race in one piece.
Yeah, brilliant handle there. So, of course, congratulations on the championship. And of course, before we move on to our race winner, anybody you want to shout out that makes this all possible for you?
Yeah, just it's my first season with CMS. So thanks to everyone at Champion Motorsports, a great organization. All the sponsors for supporting iRTES, and obviously you guys for the broadcast, and then just my family who let me do this early on Sunday morning. So thanks everyone. Obviously all the competitors as well. It's been a great season. Shame that Chad couldn't make the last race, but really tight racing all season. Great fun. Thanks.
Alrighty, that will do it for Enrico. Once again, congratulations. I'm sure David will be getting your mailing address, sending you that full cast resin trophy here just a few moments time. I'm down here in Victory Lane with Michael Parker. Michael, you got a copy?
I've got a copy, Sean. Hey.
Hey, man. Well, unfortunate, did not get the championship win here today, but but was able to come away with the win. Man, walk us through it. That start, you kind of, well, you started the race and just walked away with it ever since then, ending with a 13.9 second gap I'm showing. Was that just practice? Was it pace in the car? Walk us through it.
Kind of a little of everything. Yeah, no, I mean, for one, congrats to Enrico on the championship win. I know also Chad Henson wish he could be here to extend that fight. For me, I just knew I just needed to win the race, and anything else I can control. So, but yeah, it was a great season. Really, really happy for the win, and yeah, really just the pace came down to practicing a little bit yesterday, but also the iRTES I'm also involved in, so I had a ton of track practice in a different car, so I knew where the lines were and just tried to replicate.
Going to definitely need that in the Endurance iRTES series coming up. But Michael, once again, congratulations. The consistency was key all throughout the season, and especially tonight, or this morning, wherever you're from in the world. Is there anybody that you'd like to thank or makes this possible for you to race in the Porsche Cup series with us?
Yeah, I just want to thank the sponsors, of course, Champion Motorsports for hosting this race, the feeder race into the iRTES, and all the other sponsors that are associated. Just want to thank my wife, of course, letting me do this in the morning, and then all of the awesome competitors that keep showing up every year.
It's been so much fun to watch, and unfortunately this will close a chapter in the CMS and SSN history books here, but hopefully a little bit more teamwork between the two. It comes from the future and some affiliations and whatnot. But David Anderson, thank you again once again for having us on board this whole season. Michael, congratulations to your race win. Great running throughout the season. Enrico, congratulations on your championship. I think that's going to do it for me. Toka, if you have anything else left to add, gonna catch the old plane ride back home. Thanks everybody joining in their YouTube land as well, all the subscribers. Appreciate if you like, comment, and show us that you were here today. Appreciate it, guys. Catch you next time on STAM Studio Network.